And now, great works of postmodern garbage, written and performed by #1 Marmaduke fan. Tonight's episode, by Julie Zando, published in 1994. This program is generously supported by viewers like you, through your likes, comments, subscriptions, and by clicking the bell for boffo notifications and other such tomfoolery. Thank you.
Julie Zando's 1994 film project, is a pseudo-intellectual, amateur, trans-pornographic video, which was deliberately shot to look unprofessional and unsettling. It is proudly within the collection of the Museum of Modern Art and was purchased through the Video Data Bank. According to the Video Data Bank, her work investigates the intermingling issues of power, sexual identity, and desire. The Video Data Bank describes as a love story, loosely based on the classic text, The Story of O. By classic text, they mean an erotic French sadomasochistic novel from 1954. I can't even read the Wikipedia description of this supposed classic text, but one of the less scarring details is that the female character's buttocks are branded in this story. Zando's film, however, casts an all-female cast. The Video Data Bank lavishes praise on this critical analysis of masochism that investigates the relationship between love, risk-taking, spirituality, power, and sex. The electronic art intermix provides a more thorough bio for Zando. Julie Zando explores identity, desire, and the construction of a female self through a complex and provocative discourse on power, analyzing the psychoanalytic, social, and personal dynamics of women's relationships as lovers, friends, mothers, and daughters. She examines subjectivity and sexuality in terms of manipulation and submission, exhibitionism and voyeurism, masochism and victimization, obsession and dependency. Translation: she makes amateur pornos that are weird on purpose and use confusing narration, complete with prominently displayed unshaven armpits and an atonal soundtrack. Direct, raw, and self-revealing, Zando's personal dramas probe the structures and paradigms of power, demonstrating how phenomena as disparate as love, narrative, and exploitation are used as vehicles of control. Interweaving narrative dramatizations and documentary devices, her works reveal an acute awareness of the psychological dynamic of storytelling and the act of recording. Translation: Zando is obsessed with politics and power in film, and her works are experimental explorations of this political idea. Quoting Zando, "The camera acts as a tool that directs and controls desire. Its frame forever enslaves the self in a game of passion." After describing her educational background, the EAI lists Zando's awards and accomplishments: a Maya Deren Award from the American Film Institute, as well as grants and fellowships from Media Bureau, New York State Council on the Arts, the National Endowment for the Arts. Pause. Clap warning. The National Endowment for the Arts. This program has been generously supported by taxpayers like you. Thank you. We continue. Zando has also been honored by the New York Foundation for the Arts, director of Squeaky Wheel, a media resource center in Buffalo from 1986 to 1989. She has taught at the School of the Art Institute of Chicago and the University of California, San Diego, and in 1990 was artist in residence at Buffalo Seminary High School. A high school. We continue. Zando's videotapes have been exhibited at festivals and institutions, including the American Film Institute National Video Festival, Los Angeles Contemporary Exhibitions, LACE, Japan 1989 Video Television Festival, Tokyo, Worldwide Video Festival, The Hague, the Museum of Modern Art, New York, the Brooklyn Museum, New York, and the Second International Video Festival, Kuopio, Finland. So, here are my questions. Which projects of Zando's received financial support from the National Endowment for the Arts? was it one of her transgressive pornographic amateur films. When she was at the Buffalo Seminary High School, was she asked to share her work with high school students? Were high school students required to view any of her work as part of their class requirements? When parents paid money to support their children's education at the Art Institute of Chicago and the University of California, San Diego, were those parents aware of Zando and her artistic accomplishments? Did the students learn something in Zando's classes which justified the cost of tuition to these elite establishments? Were avant-garde pornographic films ever shown in class or assigned as required content for these college-age students? If you did not pay tuition to learn at an institution under Julie Zando, have you or your children been taught about Julie Zando in the context of art and film classes, where she is presented as an important artist, one worthy of a student's time, energy, and attention to study and imitate? I cannot watch Julie Zando's Uh-Oh because it's filth. But I can show you a clip of what the Museum of Modern Art, the Art Institute of Chicago, the University of California, the Buffalo Seminary High School, the American Film Institute, the Media Bureau, the New York State Council on the Arts, and the National Endowment for the Arts consider to be a critically important film, a work of serious artistic merit by an artist worthy of funding and prominence in institutions paid for by you. You should pay for this.
Rene would often bring O to the basement of the rock pile, where his friends would stage parties. "Go in," Rene says. And she goes.
"Get in," he says. She gets in. It is autumn at dusk. She is dressed as she always is, high heels, a suit with a pleated skirt, a silk blouse, and no hat. In her leather handbag she has her identification papers, her compact, and her lipstick. The taxi moves off slowly, Renee still not having said a word to the driver. O has taken off her gloves, thinking he wants to kiss her or that he wants her to caress him. But instead he says, "Your bag's in the way. Let me have it."
She gives it to him. He puts it out of her reach and adds, "You also have too many clothes. Unfasten your stockings and roll them down to above your knees. Here are some garters."
"Here we are," he says suddenly. Here we are. The taxi stops on a lovely avenue in front of some sort of private home, which can be seen nestled between the courtyard and the garden, the type of private dwelling one finds along the Faubourg Saint-Germain. The street lamps are some distance away, and it is still fairly dark inside the car. Outside it is raining. "Don't move," Renee says. "Sit perfectly still."
Another version of the same beginning was simpler and more direct. The young woman was driven by her lover and an unknown friend. The stranger was driving. The lover was seated next to the young woman, and it was the unknown friend who explained to the young woman that her lover had been entrusted with the task of getting her ready, that he was going to tie her hands behind her back, unfasten her stockings, and roll them down, remove her garter belt, her panties, and her brassiere, and blindfold her. She would then be turned over to the chateau, where in due course she would be instructed as to what she should do.
I can't show you the pornographic aspects of this film. I can't even watch this film. But you bet your Aunt Sally that I don't want to pay for things like this film. With that, I am sincerely yours, #1 Marmaduke fan. If you like what I'm doing on this channel, please consider supporting me on Patreon. You can also help this channel grow by liking, commenting, subscribing, and clicking the bell icon to receive notifications when future videos are released. Down with the NEA, I love you guys, and I'll catch you later.
Thank you.